I was alone in the hospital break room at the end of my shift when a man in street clothes stepped in, closed the door, and said, "I have been waiting for everyone else to leave." I was a charge nurse on the cardiac floor, and it was 11:45 p.m. Everyone else had already clocked out or moved to their stations. I was sitting at the table with my shoes half off, drinking the last of a cold coffee, when the door opened. He was maybe 50. Button-down shirt, dark slacks, no badge. Nothing about him said patient. Nothing said staff. He had the kind of stillness that doesn't belong in a hospital at midnight. I set the coffee down. "Can I help you? You're Diane." He didn't ask it. He said it the way people say things they've already confirmed. I didn't answer right away. My badge was face down on the table. I hadn't told him my name. "I think you have the wrong room," I said. "You were on shift the night of March 14th, he said. "Room 412. Patient named Gerald Foss." I knew the name. Of course I knew the name. Gerald Foss had been a 71-year-old post-bypass patient who coded at 2 a.m. on March 15th and didn't come back. We worked him for 38 minutes. "You need to speak with hospital administration," I said. I was already calculating the distance to the door. He was between me and it. I tried that. He reached into his breast pocket, and I tensed, but it was just an envelope. He set it on the table in front of me. They said his chart showed everything was done correctly. "I want to hear that from you." I looked at the envelope. I didn't touch it. "Are you family?" I asked. "His son." I exhaled. Grief. That's what this was. It didn't make it less frightening to be cornered in a room, but I understood it. Family members did this sometimes, not the cornering, but the searching. The needing someone to look them in the eye and say, "We tried." "I'm sorry for your loss," I said carefully, "but you can't be in here, and you can't approach staff this way. I need you to leave. Just tell me if he was alone." His voice didn't waver. "When it happened, was he alone?" I looked at him for a moment. "No," I said. "He wasn't. We were with him." He nodded slowly. Something moved across his face that I couldn't read. "Open the envelope," he said. "Sir, please." Against everything I knew, I picked it up. Inside were two things: a photograph and a folded piece of paper. The photograph was Gerald Foss. I recognized him from the chart, sitting in what looked like a living room, smiling. On the back, in pen, March 14th, 6 p.m., 9 hours before he coded. I unfolded the paper. It was a printout of a text message chain. The number at the top wasn't labeled, but the messages were time-stamped from the night of March 14th, starting around 9 p.m. The first message from the unlabeled number: "Did you get him admitted?" A reply: "Yes, cardiac floor, room 412. Then, good, make sure it looks clean." I read it twice. My hands were completely still. "My father wasn't sick," the man said. "Not enough to be admitted. His GP sent him in because someone called that GP and told him Dad had been reporting chest pain. Dad never reported chest pain. I have his records going back 6 years." I looked up. "I've been trying to figure out who that unlabeled number belongs to for 3 months," he said. "Administration won't talk to me. The GP won't talk to me. But last week I finally got a name." He reached across the table and turned my badge over. His eyes went to my photo, then back to my face. The stillness was gone. "That's not you," he said. I shook my head slowly. "My name isn't Diane," I said. "Diane switched shifts with me that night. She asked me to cover, said she had a family thing." I watched his face. "She's been on leave for 6 weeks. Nobody knows where she went." He stared at me. Then he looked down at the unlabeled number on that printout, and his face went the color of the wall behind him. His hand was shaking when he dialed, but I'd already recognized the exchange. It was the same prefix as the nurse's station on this floor. He held the phone to his ear. Somewhere down the hall behind the door, a phone rang once and went to voicemail. The outgoing message said,